Okay, everybody. Saturday, we're doing a little bit of maintenance work on our hammer here. Getting ready to flip the case over and run it a little while longer. So while I was doing that and had it apart and not on the well, figured I'd take the time to kind of show everybody what a hammer is and what it does. So you can see there it is. This is a Mincon MC61 hammer. You can see I've got it broke loose here at the chuck and got it broke loose here at the top sub. Getting ready to flip this case over and run it. It's got about 18,000 feet on it right now. No loss of performance in 18,000 feet. Just it's time to flip it over and try to get the best out of this case before we get a rebuild kit or buy a new hammer. So you can see there's not a whole lot to it. The bits here, you can run from 6-inch up to 8-inch bits with this hammer. This is a MC61 hammer, which is a 6-inch hammer. So this is a 6 and 8 bit chuck here, case, top sub, and then this is our adapter that hooks on to our pipe on our drill rig. Not a whole lot to it. It's a water well hammer. Running off air. Our compressor on our drill rig's 900 CFM at 350 pounds. We're always running water down the hole, so not only does water get run with it, but got this little lubrication tank right here. It's got a switch on the drill rig. You turn it on. It's a 7-gallon capacity for rock drill oil. Got a little metering device here where I can adjust the oil or however I want to adjust it. Right now, let's say our adjustment on it's probably about 1 pint an hour or so, maybe a little more than that. So I have to add rock drill oil to it a pretty good bit, but needless to say, haven't had any so far. Haven't had any performance issues with it. So while the drill rig wasn't running, just wanted to kind of go over some of the basics with you, kind of show you what it is. How it works, and then we'll get it in the hole here once we get the case flipped, and I'll set it in the hole and put it to work and show you how that works too. So stay tuned. There it goes. About gummed up, ain't it?
That old ring right there that holds the 3-piece seating ring around it.
Mm-hmm.
It got in there and got it.
I'm talking about the grease on it.
Oh, okay. I'll hit it one more time, Wayne. Pop on out of there.
That got to come out.
This has got to go back in the other way.
At the bottom.
Yeah. This way.
Got it, didn't you?
This is the piston retainer ring.
Right here, right?
Yeah. That's the bearing right there. Or we call it an aligner. And what it does, it aligns. Yeah.
Or get out. Yeah, I see that.
That's the piston retainer ring. And always when you try to get it out, get it from the opposite side of the opening there.
So obviously that's going on the other end. Then.
Right.
Alright, so this turns over. You need any rock drill oil to put back in here?
Probably wouldn't hurt. About how much oil are y'all running a day? Do you know?
I'd say a pint So probably not enough.
Yeah, it's what, just looking at it, it looks like it needs a little more.
Looks like it's been running a little hot.
Yeah.
Well, we'll
You
be,
know, in the, you know.
we'll be experimenting with it once we get this new one.
Yes. And, yeah, because your oiler on the new one's gonna be probably electronic oiler, isn't it?
Probably.
The one on the old one may be.
It's got a switch that cuts it on, and then you just got a, it's got a little
Adjustment on it or?
Venturi nozzle.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Do you know approximately how many feet you got on it?
About 18,000.
Well, I'd wipe it out real good, because I want to mic it up right quick before we put it back together. Sure. And
Why not?
just to make sure that we're right. See.
See what you get.
What'd you get, Grant? We tried the best with what we had.
Yes. It's kind of hard to do it if you don't have a set of mics. I mean,
I think all we had was the inside
yes,
measure.
yes.
That's what I think it was.
You got nearly 20 thousandths wear left on this.
Did you measure about 5.3?
5.2.
5.2?
Close to what we measured 5.3, Grant.
Somewhere around there.
But you know, and it depends on where you hit it. I
was measuring.
I always try to measure right in here because that's where if it's going to split, it'll split right in
You
here.
got more.
Yeah, you
wear
got
on the
more
other
meat
end.
down here.
Got more wear on the other end.
Well, that's probably where I measured it at.
The other end's the bad one at the bottom.
Let's do that while we got it. A lot of times what happens
So we didn't even need to flip it.
is you're getting, yeah, I mean, you'll get more life out of it by doing this one. But sometimes those cuttings, when they're coming out, they're coming up and hitting the top of that wear sleeve, and that's where you get a lot of wear.
Keep a good chuck on it.
Yeah,
It's supposed to.
it'll keep it from wearing on this end. And this end didn't wear as bad as the other end for some reason.
What? Did not.
Didn't. The other end's got more wear on it. But if I was going, I would have flipped it. I mean, it's a good idea to flip it because if for some reason it was to crack, you're only going to lose a bit in the chuck.
Mm-hmm.
But if it would kept the thin end on the top and it cracked, and you lost the whole shooting match. So yeah, I think it's worth doing it. We probably may want to catch it a little bit earlier next time, but yeah.
How can you tell? It looks like it's been running a little dry. This right here. What made you say it needed more oil?
The way it looks right in here.
All right, where at?
See how it was right in here? See that gilding?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the other thing we want to look at is that little three-piece ring that was in there.
It's over there.
I don't know where that is.
If you look right here, you see that little groove?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what this does is when it goes in there, it kind of opens up like Chinese fingers and locks this in place.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't get that movement in the internal part. Well, I mean, it's inevitable. You got a big piston like that hitting it. It's gonna
It's gonna get some grooves. In
right. But after you know, when we flip it, what we'll do is we'll flip it to this other side. It's not.
Let it wear on that side.
Right. But what we're looking for is anything more than 5 thousandths wear off of this, make it where it won't run. But it's got like maybe 1 thousandths off of it, so you're good.
I hadn't noticed any performance issues with it.
Right.
Or anything different. I mean, it runs just like the day we started running it.
Just what I've seen here, I think we're good to go back together with it. So what I always do when I'm building a hammer is I start from the bottom, what's going to be the bottom end of it. So, and that's where that ring sits right in here.
Yeah, so that ring's going to go in first, ain't it?
Right. But on the other, this was the top end, so that 3-piece ring was riding right here.
Okay, so that's what I was wondering. I was wondering if the case had a groove for the ring to sit in the other side.
It does.
Okay, so the 3-piece ring and that ring are just interchangeable.
Well, yeah, from one end to the other.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what happens here is if that's getting a lot of wear, you can get it'll ping over some right here, and it don't. That shows you don't have a whole lot of movement from the hammer. The hammer's staying, tight. So the first thing to go in is that piston retaining ring. Yeah. Then
Don't look egged like that other one would do. That other one would look egged with hardly any running on it.
You can see where the wear is out on this front.
Mm-hmm.
How you tell?
He showed me. Where's it at? I don't know what side, but there it is. See that groove right there? Right here.
He's gonna turn this around.
Yeah, feel it. You can feel a little ridge in there with your finger.
it's very slight. I mean,
But still,
there's not really a whole lot of movement in the hammer,
Yeah.
but the line is there. And that's a sealing O-ring there. That's I always like to make sure that one especially goes on. Even if it was just put apart, I'll usually put a new one on it.
mm-hmm.
And then this is always going to go in where the piston's going to seal here. Since it don't have a blow tube in it, the piston actually seals right on this end, the smaller end.
Yeah.
So it goes in first, and that's where that piston retaining ring's going to ride right there on that groove. So
Okay, I got you.
it's got to go down past the threads, and then you got to have enough room for that retaining ring to go in there. Grant, watch your eyes, buddy. That thing. Sounded like it.
Yeah.
It went home then.
No, it's just being in there. It's being aggravating.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That'll work. Next thing is the piston. And if you don't put the piston in and you put everything else together, let me tell you, you ain't got nothing to drive it out. So it's very difficult to get it back apart.
Yeah.
And the reason I know that, I've done it a time or
You've
two.
done it.
You don't do it but once.
Ready?
Yes, sir. Watch your hands, because that's a pinch point right there. No. You hear that cush?
Yeah.
Everything's,
That's what you wanna hear,
that's what
right?
you want to hear is that little cush there. So now what we'll have to do,
What
we'll
next?
assemble that all together.
We got any O-rings or anything
Yes,
that
sir.
goes on
We got
that?
yes, we got O-rings to go on that.
Which way does this go? Like this or the other way?
Like you had it right. And we'll just take that. There you go. It's something you can fix. It's just something you don't need that aggravation. what happens if you start beating on it, you can get a burr right here.
Yeah.
So you don't want to do that. But, so we put that O-ring. That's also a sealing O-ring that goes in there on that air distributor. So put a new one there, and then the real thin O-ring. And this is not a sealing O-ring. Even if you cut it when you're putting it in,
It's kind of an O-ring to keep it
it just
together.
holds it together while you're putting it together.
That's just holding those retaining rings in.
Yeah, yes, sir. Alright, and then the same thing, we'll just take that air distributor that we had. Y'all really didn't need my help. Y'all could have done this. You already had the hard part done. But it is good to, go over it one time and,
Like it's there, eh?
yes.
Oh yeah, it's always good to go over it. I ain't never done it before.
Yeah. I like doing it anyway. It's kind of a stress relief when you've been in the truck all day. This is the lock ring, and that's just a steel makeup ring. Drop it in there just like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I see what you're saying.
And then
And then the top sub will slide on.
mm-hmm.
It's got a smooth surface to sit on.
Yeah, this is a first for a water well. Usually when a guy from
See
water,
them broke.
well, you see them broke, you see them rusted up because they leave water in there, and yours looks pretty good, and this is good too. It's not got a bunch of beating up on top of it where they let rocks get down in it.
Yeah.
So, and it comes with a full choke, and if you're cycling your compressor, then that's when you would go ahead and want to change that out.
You cycle a little, don't you?
Yeah, mainly if I'm in like a salt formation and I don't have any water.
Right, right.
So it's cutting real hard and it's dry, and I'm trying to keep it coming out of the hole.
Mm-hmm.
You think we need to go with some other choke?
But I mean,
If it's been running good, like I'd rather run the full choke, and the reason is that's where you get the most power out of your hammer.
Yep.
But now, if it's just doing this back and forth, modulating back and forth,
I mean it isn't all the time.
if you're drilling hard rock and it's not, that's what you're gonna be in most of the time up here.
Yeah.
Would you want to change it now?
Sure. Well, we got it here and we got it apart. We might as well put a new one in there. What do you think?
I would.
I'll just always check it to make sure that's
Make sure it's
free.
working.
That's all.
That's all there is to it.
That's it.
We'll put the,
There you go.
now, there's one more thing we need to check, but is the backhead loose from the sub? Is that backhead loose from the sub?
I didn't take it off.
Okay.
No.
One thing that we like to do when we take it apart is take that O-ring off and screw it down, and there should be like about a couple thousandths gap there, so that when you get it on the rig, you put the bit in the basket, pump it a few times to make sure it tightens that up. That's what holds everything tight.
So all in all, there's 3 O-rings in it. There's one on the bearing,
Right.
there's one on the air distributor,
Right.
and then there's that one.
And then there's that one around that holds those rings.
Yeah.
So there's 4.
But there's 3 that seal, right?
Right. And that one really don't seal. All it does is help you
Make
got
it
you.
loose later.
I got you.
keep
Help you break it
loose.
loose later.
Well, actually, it don't help you break it loose later, but it keeps it from coming loose just by vibration. Vibration is what that actually does.
Yeah, because it sees plenty of vibration.
You don't want the O-ring on it now.
No. they come together like that.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the difference.
That's what you're talking about, right? How
Yeah,
thicker
look.
it is versus the back end, right?
Right. That's gonna wear fairly quick. I would just watch it. You can go down to 5.06.
Yep.
So just kind of.
Well, I'm gonna be watching here.
Yeah, and that's always going to be coming up out of the table, so you can kind of keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
If you see a little air bubbling on it, you know it's time to take it off. Okay, so I'm going to unscrew it a little bit. We're going to try to leave it in there if we can.
We're gonna put the O-ring on it.
Yes, sir.
What, from up here?
Yes, sir. I'll slide it over the top.
You just go all over all that?
Yes, sir. A little tight sometimes.
Beats taking that thing off.
Might get one.
You like me? I can't do gloves on it. And there's a little groove in there that it's going to go into. See it?
You want this on it?
Yes, sir. All right. Sit there.
All right, spin it.
Okay.
You got it nice and nasty.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, if you ever want anybody to come up and help you with them, you call me. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I'll be here.
I know you will.
And you know, that's part of the one of the things
Obviously,
that I
we don't want you to have to come because that means we're having problems with them.
Yeah, that's right. If we only have to do this, you know,
Yeah.
about twice a year, that's about what, you know.
Yeah, and hopefully the next time it'll be wore out and we'll just probably just get another one or something.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
keep on going.
You know, Chad would be happy to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me too, but I mean, he's a good guy.
Oh yeah, Chad's good.
He comes and see you guys regular, don't he?
Every Friday.
That's
Every
good. You
Friday.
count on him. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, he comes up here and checks in on us.
Good deal.
We thank you, John.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So,